All 16 of these drawings not only just create a meaning, but they also create a whole story out of it. The story is also split into a few chapters, talking about different aspects of my life, telling about how my thoughts make me feel, how draining school can be, and all of that. So yeah, grab your popcorn as you enjoy this under 10-minute long video. But first though, we're gonna have to go back to where we left off from last video. I said that this drawing had a deep meaning in the last video I posted, and this drawing has an 11 and a few shades of red on top, if y'all didn't notice. Wow, those specifically mean that 11% of myself still feels used. As you can see, there's like a ink of a calculator coming out, even though it looks as if I escaped from it, but I kind of didn't at the same time, type of thing. The red parts of this drawing is also an introduction to the next chapter. This whole chapter speculates how my bad thoughts could affect me as a person. Okay, so the first drawing starts with my thoughts in my head, what I'm thinking about already, like what should I do? Like, should I become a bad person and all that? And then the second drawing is my thoughts affecting me as a person. My thoughts, like, they making me even more angry, increasing like my intentions to do all these bad things. And finally, third one. The third drawing is actually a bit interesting, but it basically explains that, like, I'm ready to expose this bad person that I want to become. Ladies and gentlemen, thumbs up the second chapter. The third chapter is a little interesting because this chapter describes about the whole process, about the bad person thing happening. So the first one explains me putting myself above everyone, making myself feel like I'm the main character, like looking for attention basically. And then the second one is a few weeks later, where I realized that I need to stop doing that, but at the same time I just can't control it. So the solution to it, as you look closely, the word says therapy. So the word therapy brings us to the third drawing. The third drawing explains how in therapy I start to find a little bit of clarity. Like, I calm down a bit. I realize that those are not the solutions. Being a bad person against people that are bad to you, that's stooping up to their level. This last drawing of this chapter leads to the next. This next chapter talks about my school. All this chapter talks about school. In school, I wouldn't say things are going bad, but just basically explains how I feel about the workload and people. So the first drawing, as you can tell, it explains people trying to make me please them. Like, as you can see, it's like about 5 or 6 people trying to take off the bonnet, but I'm just straight up refusing to. But my face there, as you can tell, I look like so annoying, so drained from just refusing. That made me feel like kind of betrayed in a way, because it's like people don't really appreciate you for who you are as a person, or what you're trying to do to express yourself and all that. Then the next 2 drawings are actually meant to combine into one, because they both explain how I just feel about the school overall. Like, when it comes to the workload, actually excluding the people, the workload, how I feel about it. Like, it's draining. As you can see, there's like a thumbs down explaining that it's like draining and all that. And then the final drawing it's basically a rushed up drawing, but it was rushed for a reason. Alright, It was only rushed because this paper explains as a person like feel at the end of the day at school when I don't get most of my things done. Like, you know how paper feels useless and weak? That's how I be feeling sometimes. Like, as much as I...
This final drawing brings an end to the story. This final drawing basically explains that this is just me trying to just move on, trying to move forward in my life. 81% of me is just trying to forget about how annoying like things could get. I'm just trying to move forward, because at the end of the day, you can't be sad. That concludes all 16 of my drawings described in just one story. I really hope you all enjoyed this. I've been trying a new edit style and I like this.